everybody, how is it going? Sorry for the delayed video here. Life's been a bit busy, and I've really just been enjoying kind of taking in the show and enjoying it as a fan for a little bit. You may have noticed that on the channel I did not do any per episode reactions, and I'm probably not going to do that very much anymore moving forward. I don't really enjoy it. It's not that much fun for me to make reactions. They're fast and they're relatively easy to pump out, but yeah, I mean, don't make what you don't enjoy, right? Otherwise you'll burn yourself out. So here I am. This is kind of a mid-season check-in for me. I'm going to go ahead and give my overall first impressions. Season 2, significantly better than Season 1 in almost every single capacity. I mean, it cannot be understated how much the improvement is, because it's huge. It's a much better job. I mean, visually, it's significantly improved. The overall costume design and everything is still within that same initial outlook that they had, that Isis set back in Season 1, but the materials have been greatly upgraded. Similar with the sets, the materials, looks like they've had more time with dressing them. They've got more extras. The lighting is improved. Things don't look as flat as they did in Season 1. And I think the writing has improved a little. It's probably the least improved of everything that has improved, but it has improved. Of course, cast, actors, actresses, everyone else in between. Like, my lord, y'all are killing it. I mean, even when I think lines are a little hokey, and I mean, let's be real, there's going to be some hokey lines out of this series. Even when I think some things are a little clunky or don't quite work for me, the delivery that the actors can put out there just can make it, make it passable, make it bearable for me. They can even make me feel things on lines that I think are terrible, and just cannot understate the importance that the cast has for bringing this show to life. So with all that said, episodes 1 through 3, I really liked them. Episode 1 being my least favorite, and progressively getting better up to on debut night, where episode 3 ended being my favorite. And I feel like that's a pretty common opinion, that most people liked episode 3 the best. Talking about episode 1 for just a little bit, I don't want to dwell on it because it's a lot of negative for me. I thought it was the weakest episode of Season 2. Felt like it was just a step above some of the worst episodes of Season 1. And yeah, I just did not enjoy that episode. However, we move past it, we get into episode 2. Episode 2 is significantly better than episode 1, and then episode 3 after that is also significantly better. So yeah, I mean, they just keep going. And of course, I am filming this as a mid-season check-in, so I just want to say that episode 4 is, even in my opinion, was my favorite one yet. I really enjoyed that episode. I know that was a little bit more mixed overall. 3 was more universally liked than 4, but yeah, I thought episode 4 really hit a lot of the things that the Wheel of Time needs to hit. And they had definitely been doing these in 2 and 3, but not so much as in episode 4. And part of the reason is, number 1, we got Lanfear, which she is having her name spoken, and then seeing her on screen and her deception come to light and everything. That just, I mean, it doesn't get much more Wheel of Time than that, right? Like, just knowing that we've got the reveal now. They know that Forsaken are a threat. They know that they have to contend with them, that there's more than one out there now. Yeah, I mean, nothing makes the Wheel of Time feel more like the Wheel of Time than the Forsaken in some regards. They're unique villains. They may be, sometimes in the books, Saturday morning cartoon level of goofy, but yeah, they're always unique and interesting. And eventually, as you get later on in the series, they definitely feel like real people with real villainous motivations. And it is just, they're one of my favorite parts of the Wheel of Time, and what makes it feel so unique I think, as a series. So I'm super happy that we're getting more of them on screen as the seasons go on. And seeing them on there is just bringing it all up for me. And the other part that really started making me feel like it was the Wheel of Time was finally Perrin did something with the wolf powers, and he talked with Elias, and he learned Hopper's name. And we got Hopper. Y'all, like, come on, like, that stuff should have been in season 1. I really disagree that it was not in season 1 personally, because it made Perrin feel so do nothing. And I mean, he had like very few lines compared to many other characters, and his storyline wasn't particularly good in season 1. Perrin got done dirty. I think a lot of people recognize that Perrin got done dirty, and of course the justification for him being done dirty was the fact that they had him kill Layla in episode 1. But like, I mean, it was rough. Perrin, for those who don't know, is arguably my favorite of the 3 boys from the 2 Rivers, and yeah, just seeing his storyline get a little dragged down by that particular choice for his character at the very beginning, it hurt. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't enjoy season 1 as much as I could have had Perrin had some of his development. But we're getting it now in season 2. He's also getting, like, they're ham-fisting some of Rand's book 2 development into Perrin throughout these episodes, and it doesn't work, but at least we're getting the scenes with the Shienarans on screen, so that's good. Yeah, and of course by episode 4 he's separated from them, so he's with Elias now. That's good, because Perrin needs to be alone in the wilderness with Elias for some time before he can rejoin everybody, and he can start to kind of understand about the wolf powers and his relationship with the wolves and everything about it, and it's going to have this internal struggle for him. So yeah, that was a very positive thing for me. Another thing I loved, and a highlight of episode 4, was Moraine's sister. She has a little sister, and that was just extremely satisfying to see on screen. That's not really a thing in the books. That's like an invention, but they wrote it very well, and of course it was performed excellently. So yeah, Moraine's sister, Anvir, Lady Anvir Damadre, was just amazing. And she is Barthanes' mom, so Barthanes is going to make the appearance. He's going to be a young man. I didn't necessarily view him young in the books, but I may need to go back and do a reread. I thought he was a little bit older, probably late 30s, early 40s is kind of how I pictured him. But it's totally possible that, he's younger. So I'm interested to see where the storyline goes, because he's supposed to be married to the Queen of Cairhien, as we find out. And that's interesting that there's a Queen of Cairhien. But, I'm here for it. We'll go for it. And, just the rest of the episode for episode 4 is all about Lanfear, which we'll get to in a second. Just kind of, I'll take this time, backtrack through episode 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll kind of go on. But so episode 1, it's mostly about Lan and Moraine, and then we get some tower training with Nynaeve and Egwene. That stuff's good. The Lan and Moraine stuff at Varen's house, not so good. And I think that's kind of the most common plot element of the season, is that Lan and Moraine's storyline is just not resonating. It's not hitting. Part of that is they took the Rand pushing his friends away storyline at the beginning of the Great Hunt, which a lot of people dislike, and then they gave it to Lan and Moraine, which arguable there's some elements of a storyline like that within the books as well, but we never see it to this degree, and it's never this annoying or catty even, or mean, but there it is. It's on screen, and it's not very enjoyable to watch. And then Lan goes off with Alana and her warders, and no complaints about actually Alana and Ivan and Maxim. They're great, but it's just I don't know what it is. They're inventing a lot of writing for Lan that is not really in Lan's character within the books to make these things fit the way they want them to, and it doesn't work because it's just not. It just doesn't feel natural for Lan. And I mean, the other thing I don't like, and I guess my biggest criticism, character done dirty this season, is going to be Lan, because Lan should be able to take 3 fades by himself, no problems, and he gets thoroughly trashed to the point where I am questioning his skills with the sword. He's arguably the best blade master in all of fantasy, and we're just I don't know how we're going to believe certain events at the end of the series if we don't see some improvements in his fights on screen, because he's beaten a lot so far. But no problems with Daniel Henney's performances. Obviously, he's doing the best he can with what he's given. I'm still really enjoying his casting and the way he's bringing to life what they're giving him. It's just, I don't enjoy what they're giving him to start with. Moraine is a bit better overall, especially since she separated from Lan and like at the end of episode 3, and just, yeah, that whole thing with her sister is just amazing. But I mean, y'all, overall, I'm loving it. I don't have much more to say. I've nitpicks, really. Like I said, Lan Moraine storyline, least favorite part so far. Pretty much everything else is amazing. We're going to move on to Lanfear and her and Rand's relationship. So we're introduced to her as Selene, like we are in the books, but it's not through a mirror world. Rand is staying at an inn she has in Kyran. He had traveled for some months before arriving, and he's been staying there since he got there. So she was released by Shamael at some point before Rand's arrival, and like they said, it's been like 5 months since, 5 or 7 months. I'm not quite sure. I think it's 5 since the end of season 1, because that's how long Egwene and Nynaeve were training in the tower. And yeah, it was. They've put their relationship on screen in a very believable way, in a very natural way, that I was a little bit worried, because Lanfear's not introduced in a believable nor natural way within the Great Hunt, and you're already suspicious of her from the first meeting, and you keep getting more suspicious of her to the point you know that she's not. There's ulterior motives. That was much more subtle with this version of Selene. She was definitely very commanding. She wanted Rand to do specific things in specific ways. She did enjoy being around him, that was good to see. But the other things that they gave her, just like the way she behaved, the way she carried herself around, and the way she spoke to him, that was all perfectly in character. And then when he would do something that would make her mad, her reactions were also perfectly in character. And those were the first hints that something weird was going on with her, because her anger is not, the level of anger she has is not fully justified. And it's just a unique thing to kind of see that this is how they decided to adapt this, and I think it works really well. It's not half as exciting as how it happens in the books. The books, it's way more exciting, but the first 3 books are like heroic fantasy, with your primary point of view being Rand's, except for book 3. They've done the best they can with that, and I feel like they knocked it out of the park. Unlike other storylines, like Lan and Moraine, which is my least favorite storyline of this season. Oh, I'm trying to not harp on that too bad, but it's going to come up. It's going to keep coming up, y'all. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling in this video. I'm not doing like a deep dive or anything. I may not even do a deep dive until the end of the season, when I go back and rewatch the episodes a couple of times. But yeah, I've just enjoyed everything. I've enjoyed the Seanchan. They're exactly as menacing and evil and terrifying as they needed to be in the first place. And they are 100%... sorry, I have a cat behind my camera, and she is messing with my tripod. so I have to shoo her away. Anyway, yeah, so with the Seanchan, they are just absolutely terrifying, and everything they do does have this weight to it that it's supposed to. I've really been enjoying this version of the Seanchan. I think that they've made them just as terrifying and evil and compelling as they need to be. But while they are all of these things, eventually we're going to have to start seeing real people that are within this culture, especially as we're introduced to more and more characters in the Seanchan culture. So how they humanize those folks and bring them in to the main cast as individuals who have larger parts in the story is going to be really interesting, and I can't wait to see folks' reactions to the Seanchan's enslavement of female channelers. And we kind of saw them picking women who can channel out of the crowd in episode 3, but I feel like that wasn't conveyed that that's necessarily what was happening to the audience. So they still, while they're picking out women randomly, they don't know why yet, although I hope people are theorizing about it. Because I watched these with Kat, by the way, and she didn't pick up on that or anything, so we'll see how it goes. I don't know if they are just assuming that they're like battle teams or whatnot. We'll have to wait and see. I haven't watched a lot of new reader reactions either, or new watcher reactions. Old habits die hard, y'all. So yeah, it's just the Seanchan are just everything they need to be. And of course the accents, the American accents, are pretty good. I think having Jessica Boone be the person who set that accent when we first see it on screen was absolutely flawless. She's a native Texan, so and she is a voice actress, fairly prolific anime voice actress from the mid-2000s. I've got several up here where it features her voice work. So yeah, definitely a great choice for the first person we hear really speak in a lot of words in the accent to set the tone. So it's just great, and I've got no complaints with the Seanchan. The Shienarans have been a little flat for me, though I am at least happy they're on screen. Of course, Guy Roberts for me was a big highlight of the Shienarans, and seeing Masima on screen and doing his business along with Ingtar, yeah, absolutely phenomenal. They can fight very well. It's just that the scenes they're shooting without Rand and Matt and and all of the people present that need to be there, as it is in the book, it all falls a little flat. It's just kind of a weird choice. That said, I'm just happy with season 2 so far. Way happier, I think, than I was with season 1. And yeah, I just don't want anyone to ruin this high, which is why I put off making this video, because there are going to be some folks out there in the comments that are just going to be assholes. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to leave a comment about how much you hate this show, just move on, because I'm going to hide it on the channel and no one's going to see it except me. And I'll block you and everything, and that's going to be it. Oh, I will take a screenshot of it and send it to people to make fun of you. But other than that, no one else will see it. So anyway, y'all, what are your thoughts, feelings, and overall impressions of the Wheel of Time Season 2? I've really been enjoying it. I haven't pulled the soundtracks yet from Spotify. I haven't pulled them up to listen, and I need to go do that. So I can start getting into maybe deep diving the music a little bit, because my lord, it's good this season. We're hearing familiar themes from season 1 being woven in with new themes here in season 2, and I'm just stoked. Plus I want to hear the contributions of our fellow Wheel of Time fans, Nikhil Korapar and Alex Sayers. Both of them got to have they got to do a little bit of help with the music this year for this season, so that's going to be cool. I can't wait to find out which parts they were specifically responsible for. And with that, y'all, we're going to go ahead and sign off. If you liked it, leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite parts are. If you didn't like it and you have respectful, constructive criticism about things you would do differently, please put that in below. But anything that says woke or women, or like too many women, or anything like that, or not enough Rand, I'm just not going to even let your comment show up on the channel. So please have at least something constructive to say and don't come here to just complain. Anyway, y'all, I'll catch you later.